let's make lemonade. Okay. Let's go to work.
That's the signal. Go. 6. It's beautiful. Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Start your day with a jolt of energy and no-holds-barred opinions. This is The Rush, where Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bring you bold, unfiltered, and uncensored takes on sports, life, and everything in between. Buckle up and let's go.
Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Good to have you along on a Friday. It's Friday. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushladio.com or on the Rush with Travis and Ross Android app, good to have you here this morning. Hey, YouTubers, we're talking to you. Good to have you here. If you are new to the station, go ahead and give this channel a subscription, like the video, leave a comment, and have a little show within a show with everybody who's watching. You can also follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Good morning, Ross Peterson.
What's up, buddy? How was Thursday?
Well, you know, it was kind of a weird night. I was emceeing an event last night, and
you're emceeing all the time, dude.
I do MC a lot. I MC a lot. I probably do 15 to 20 events a year, which, 52 weeks in a year. That's almost half the weekends are taken up, or some of the nights. But I'm running around, I'm doing my emceeing duties, and we finally break for dinner, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, I wonder where Nancy Kerrigan is sitting, because Nancy Kerrigan was the guest speaker last time. I'm sitting there, I go, where's Nancy? I looked to my right, and Nancy Kerrigan is right by me. She's sitting by me.
When you found out, did you go, why?
I wanted to. I wanted to, but I didn't.
Poor lady's probably heard that a lot.
Yeah, you think so? But I'm like, oh my God, this is Nancy Kerrigan. I'm sitting right by her.
I'm in a weird mood because now I got all these horrible jokes going through my head. Like, how many times in her life has she been at an event and some guy's been like, watch this, look out?
She actually brought up for the longest time, she spoke for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and she didn't bring it up. I'm like, everybody in the room wants to know. Everybody wants to, but she didn't mention the name Tanya Harding. She didn't mention the name Jeff Gillooly. She just said she was attacked.
That's good enough. I mean, but that's yeah. But if she would have ignored it the whole time, been like, no, I'm Nancy Kerrigan, the lady that ice skated in the Olympics. No, you're not.
Yeah. The weird thing was, I think
it'd be like Joe Exotic coming out and being like, I'm the guy that ran for president. No, dude, you're Tiger King.
Yeah, exactly.
You're Tiger King. You don't get to be the guy that ran for president. You're Nancy Kerrigan. You're an amazing figure skater. You're known for that thing. Like, I'm Paul Rubin. I was also Pee Wee Herman, but I'm Paul Rubin. No, dude, you're Pee Wee.
Yeah, I mean, when you think of Nancy Kerrigan, you don't think Olympic bronze medalist, Olympic silver medalist. You think, oh, you're the one who got whacked.
Trav, I thought she won a gold medal.
And we were wrong yesterday, by the way. She won the bronze in the Albertville Olympics. The attack happened in 94. That's when the switch happened to the every 2 years.
Oh.
And 94 was, I believe, or no, it had to be 92. I don't know.
That's cool. Did you talk to her at all?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I did learn something, which I didn't know. It's not like I follow figure skaters' lives and stuff like that. But when you see people who are in the sport of figure skating, you kind of consider that a country club sport, right? I mean, the fact that you probably come from a little bit of money because your ice time's not cheap. You got to pay for those lessons, all that stuff. So you just assume, oh, you're from Boston. You grew up an ice skater. You're privileged. Well, Ross, I didn't know this. Her mom was legally blind, didn't work. Her dad was a welder. And so it's not like you're making a ton of money. I mean, welders do okay, but it wasn't like you were from this super upper class family. She goes, my family sacrificed everything for me to be able to skate. And I didn't know that about her. I think it made me appreciate her accomplishments a little bit more. That it's just not like, oh, you were bred to be an figure skater from day one. They noticed she had some talent, and then mom and dad said, "All right, we're going to scrape the pennies, and we're going to put you through.
Wow,
make this happen."
Beautiful lady.
Yeah,
beautiful lady.
And that was what's weird. I'm sitting next to Nancy Kerrigan, and I had I'm literally looking around the whole place. There's about 750 people there last night. I'm like, "Where's Nancy Kerrigan?" Oh, you're Nancy Kerrigan. Okay.
You ever do that out loud? Anybody seen Nancy Kerrigan around here? And somebody at your table's like, "Dude,
she's right next to you,
behind you."
Yeah. So
my buddy Dan Adams, who I did radio with, he doesn't know sports at all. He's a computer guy, loves computers. He didn't sports was not his thing, but his son was a really good baseball player. So he takes his son down to Kansas City. I swear to God, this happened. Gets really good seats for him and his son to go watch the Royals. It's about 20 minutes before first pitch. My phone rings, and it's Dan. I'm like, "Hey, Dan." He goes, "Dude, I'm down here with Jacob. It's amazing. We got these terrific seats." I'm like 4 feet from this guy that everybody keeps coming down and getting pictures with. Do you know some dude named Brett? It's a big part of the Royals organization. I'm like, shut up, Dan, shut up. Don't say any more words. Can people hear you? Yeah, you're sitting by a very important, the important guy.
The most popular guy in Kansas City, the most popular player in Kansas City Royals history.
Now, it turned out it was Brett Saberhagen. It was not George Brett, but he's like, "No, it's his first name." I think everybody keeps coming up calling him Brett. Like, "Oh yeah, still a big deal. Still, shut up. Just get your picture."
Because if you were to go, "Hey, name me some Kansas City Royals." I mean, obviously George Brett would be the first.
Yeah, Bo Jackson would be one of my first ones, I'd say.
Willie Wilson would be one for me. UL Washington, because he had the toothpick.
Steve Balboni would be in my list.
Hal McRae would be one of them because he played and managed. But I believe Brett Saberhagen would be in that list of just name me some Royals.
And honestly, I would then go to that Alex Gordon, Brett Butler, Zach Greinke.
Yeah.
Amos Otis, Todd writes in. What a good one.
Wow.
What a good one.
I mean, the Royals organization has had a lot of good players. Now, they weren't able to hold on to a lot of good players. Johnny Damon, I believe, was a Royal.
Yes, he was. Good call. Hold on. They had an outfield. That was Jermaine Dye.
Yes, Jermaine Dye was in Omaha. Triple A. I was covering him. I'm like,
he was crazy.
You're like, oh, he's going to be a good player, and then you're like, oh, years afterwards, like Jermaine Dye turned out to be okay.
Man, they had a 3-man outfield that turned out to be amazing because it was Jermaine Dye, Johnny Damon, and I can't remember. Todd says maybe it was. I can't remember. Dan Quisenberry, when we were kids, and Quisenberry was not just sidearm. He'd like scrape his knuckle on the mound as he delivered the ball.
Going down Royals memory lane. I like it. I like it a lot.
Royals memory lane. That's funny.
But again, a lot of good players.
That's the name. The name I was trying to come up with in my head was the one that David just wrote, and it was Freddie Patek.
Why do I not remember that name?
Little dude, middle infielder.
I don't remember.
Didn't ring a bell to you, huh?
Was that 80s, 90s, 2000s?
80s. Yep.
Okay.
70s, 80s.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. We started with sports talk this morning. Figure skating and Royals baseball. You can't go wrong with that. That's a home run right there. That's
I'm trying to think. There has to have been. My best story of not recognizing somebody that I should have was when I kicked Tim Dwight and his friends out of a bar.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You kicked Tim Dwight.
Dude.
Oh, you were first of all, you were a bouncer?
No, I was not a bouncer. Nope. I was doing a podcast with Bill Blank and Willie Farrell down at the High Life. This is probably 10 years ago.
Before podcasting was actually
before podcast was a big deal. Yeah, we had this really fun idea of doing, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. We'd do it live at El Bait Shop. That night there was a 1-game playoff happening in Major League Baseball, and so where we were positioned, I could only see one television. So I had Bruno turn the baseball game on that one TV so I could keep an eye on it. Well, this group of 3 dudes come walking in. They sit down in front of that TV and they ask the waitress if they can watch the Monday Night Football game. And the waitress comes over, and turns the TV. And I'm like, oh. So I get up and I go to this table and I'm like, fellas, you're killing me. There's a 1-game playoff in baseball tonight. I have to sit here. That's the only TV I can watch. Can you guys, like, if you go over to El Bait Shop, you can order the same food and same beer. It's the same place. And you got multiple TVs. And they were really cool. They were like, yeah, no problem. We'll appreciate it, man. Thanks for, sorry we did that. And they got up and left. And Bill Blank comes over to me and he goes, dude, that was Tim Dwight. I'm like, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. That was not Tim Dwight. He's like, yes, you just kicked Tim Dwight out of our podcast, dude. He was going to sit here and listen to our show and you just kicked him out. That was not Tim Dwight. And it was John Bush that was with us, not Willie. John Bush isn't a sports guy. He like Googles him and he goes, oh yeah, that was Tim Dwight.
Ross's claim to fame: he booted Tim Dwight out of High Life Lounge.
Well, and then Sam reminds, I did call Dikembe Mutombo Manute Bull right to his face.
Yes, you did.
I mean, like,
Manute Bull.
That's Manute Bull. No, it's not. Elevator doors shut. His whole family was in the elevator with him. It's like 9 people. Some jackass comes running up to him.
9 people, all 6'8" or taller.
No, they were all pretty short, but they were all in like traditional African wear.
Yeah,
they were wearing like robes and stuff. And so I don't know. Maybe they didn't know what I said, but.
It's going to be a fight for the entertainment dollar in Central Iowa this weekend, and we're gonna let it all play out on the Rush Radio Show this morning. At 6:30, Steve Glass is going to join us from Big Sky Bread Company because the farmers market starts tomorrow. I mean, can you imagine what downtown's going to be like in Des Moines tomorrow? I mean, it's going to be a zoo. You've got
the WWE tonight, so you've got people coming into town for that. It's the first farmers market of the year, so people that are just anxious about that in Des Moines anyway, to get out and see that. What's the weather supposed to be like tomorrow morning? I haven't even looked.
I don't even know.
I'll look and see, because that'll add.
Then you have Bacon Fest tomorrow.
Then it gets crazy. Yeah.
then it's Bacon Fest, and then tomorrow night, 17,000 going to try to pack it like sardines into the Wells Fargo Arena, and you have the UFC fights. I mean, the fight for the entertainment dollar is real. It is real, meaning that if you can't find something to do this weekend, you don't want to do anything. That's really what it comes down to. If you can't find something to do, you don't want to do something.
That's the way. Yeah, that's your fault. This is like leaving a buffet hungry.
Yeah, because the farmers market's free. You can spend money there, but you can just go down and walk around and have a good time.
It is going to be. It's going to be beautiful tomorrow. It's going to be perfect. Not hot. A little bit on the chilly side when you wake up tomorrow morning. Going to be 45 at 7 a.m. Warm up to about 60 degrees throughout the day.
Oh, that's a perfect spring.
Yeah, no weather or no rain, so that'll be good.
Oh, and let's not forget the Fever Play at Carver Hawkeye.
Holy
on
cow!
Sunday.
That's tomorrow night. That's Sunday.
Yes,
dude.
So again, if you can't find anything to do this weekend, it's because you don't want to do anything. And that's fine too. Sometimes you just want a good lazy weekend. I actually have to go to Ames. I'm going to be at a wedding tomorrow. So my cousin's daughter is getting married, so I'm going to be in Ames. Drive up, drive back.
Nice.
Busy. Ross, I got a question for you.
Fire away.
Because I'm kind of flabbergasted at this. And I'm watching these news stories fly out all over the place about the real ID. I don't know if you've been following this or not. So on May 7th,
is that the little gold star on your license?
Yes, on your license. Do you have the gold star?
Yeah, I've had it for a while.
So do I. And the Real ID came, like 20 years ago. This was supposed to be enacted, but they kept putting it off. The last time I renewed my driver's license, I got the Real ID. I think that was like 6 years ago. Now, it becomes official. If you want to fly domestically in the United States, you have to have the Real ID. And people are losing their minds. They're like, oh my God. I've got to go. I don't want to fly with my passport, and I don't have a Real ID, and I don't want to spend money for it.
So hold on. So stop for me here. You just threw a little curveball at me. You don't need the Real ID if you have your passport?
If you have a passport, that's a Real ID. If you have a passport, that counts as a Real ID. Now, when you fly domestically, a lot of people don't fly with their passport. I don't carry my passport normally when I fly domestically. But I guess what I'm confused about, I watch people freaking out, going nuts, and complaining about this. I'm like, haven't you renewed your driver's license in the last 5 years, 6 years? Because it was just when I renewed my driver's license, you've got a Real ID now. Oh, okay. Thank you. What's the panic about?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Can I play devil's advocate for you? Because again, I have no dog in this fight. Okay, I'm genuinely this dumb about this. What's different about it?
The only thing that's different is that you have a gold star, or in some, like California,
so
it's
what's
a bear with a star on it.
Bear?
It is.
I believe it. We should add a corn stalk. What does it do?
It validates you.
Okay. Again, this is where I'm going to get this, where I'm going to start to push back, because there's got to be better answers than these. When people ask questions, there's got to be better answers than, well, it's just what's the point of it?
I guess I don't know the answer to that. All I know is when I renewed my driver's license, they just said, hey, you have a Real ID now. I'm like, okay. And this was 5 or 6 years ago. And I thought, okay, eventually I'm going to need this. Now I know what I need it for. I guess I just don't know why people are losing their minds over this.
I think people, I don't know that people, maybe people are losing their minds. If people are just asking the same questions that I'm asking, again, I've got it. I'm with you. I went to go renew my driver's license a couple years ago. And I walked in and I think it was like, hey, for like an extra, whatever, $8 or something, you can get your gold star and then you never have to worry about that again. I was like, yeah, fine, do it. But what?
Tyler says,
I'm just confused. If somebody knows something more about it and why it's important, or again, I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm genuinely curious as to what it is. I've got it. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. We were literally given like 20 years to make this happen. 20 years. And they kept kicking the can down the road, which is typical government bureaucracy. Let's just keep kicking it. We're not ready to implement it. It takes 20. This is why you need government efficiency. Is that if you take 20 years to implement a gold star on your driver's license, how much money has been wasted going through this entire program?
I just got some very basic questions. What's the point of it? Some people are like, oh, well, yeah, it actually verifies your driver's license. Excuse me? Excuse me? Your driver's license wasn't verified before? It makes it real. It makes you your real ID. What was I carrying before that had my picture and name on it and all of my information? That was just something that you can get. Yeah, because I remember I had to prove to the DOT that I was that person.
Yes.
To the point of like my mom had to come back down and give birth to me in front of them again to say, hey, yeah, this is my kid. Birth certificate, blood tests, neighbors vouching for you, mail. And then it's like, well, but how can we verify that that's you? We need another $8. Another $8
Another $8 is what it is. Joe, welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. What's going on, Joe?
How are you guys?
Good.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah, my husband, he just got the Real ID last month, and you have to either have your birth certificate or your passport. And then you also have to have 2 pieces of mail that have your actual home address. So like an Amazon package, your Mid-American bill. And then, it wasn't time for him to renew his, and they wouldn't let him renew it because it's not due till next year. So then it cost $10.
Okay. I think that I remember bringing pieces. I remember bringing pieces of mail in. I don't remember bringing my birth certificate. Maybe I brought my passport in. But.
Yeah.
Yes, you can either have passport, and then like for myself, when I got mine a few years ago, I also had to have my marriage license because you had to show, your
new
name was what your name used to be. Yes, so I had to search for that thing too. So it's kind of, you got to find your stuff.
Joe, I've had to find that piece of paper also, different reasons.
For dissolution of marriage. Can we have your marriage license for dissolution of marriage?
Yes, but I was just going to tell you that those are things that you need, if you're getting it still until, May 7th, I think is the day it has to switch over.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. That's what I just saw. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Man, I swore I had.
Have a good day.
You too.
You too. I thought I had to take the birth certificate just to get my license the first time.
That's what I thought too.
I see, because this will surprise nobody. I've lost my license a few times in my life. I don't mean like they've taken it from me. Hold on. I mean, I've misplaced it. I've misplaced my license a few times, and you have to go and get a duplicate. And that's a process. That's like how do we know you're that guy? Do you have my
If you
picture?
lost your license, did you lose your billfold too? Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, misplace a billfold or.
Man, I don't. If somebody asked me to find my marriage license, I would have to go to the courthouse because I have no idea where my marriage license is.
Now I keep everything in a little fire safe. You know what I mean? I keep all the important stuff for the kids and stuff in a little fire safe. Verz says, I was at the DMV and there was a man waiting for over an hour. Turned out he already had it. Hey, you don't get to laugh at this. You don't get to laugh at this. You went to go have an automatic start put on a car that had it.
That's true. That's fair. That's fair. Who's this? Welcome to the Rush Radio Show.
This is Nick.
Hey, Nick. What are you doing, Nick?
Working again.
Okay.
My dad said the same thing, that you had to have your birth certificate and everything. But I was like, I didn't show mine. And he was like, must because you're a CDL driver. Whatever. So I didn't have to show mine when I got mine. So
I'll show you mine if I'll show you yours.
That worked.
Right. All right, gentlemen. Have a good one.
Thanks, Nick. Have a good weekend, man.
Yep.
515-517-2303.
So,
Let's go to
do
Tony.
That. That's fine.
There it is. Tony, welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. What's going on?
Hey, this is Tony. That's the bus driver. I had to dig out my old military child born abroad papers we found them in a box in the back closet of the old farmhouse that now is torn down and doesn't exist. Mom had stuck them back there. I was born in France and Dad was stationed in France, and Mom had gone over to spend the year with him. But anyway, long story short, if we hadn't found those papers, we would have been involved in months-long search because that was essentially my birth certificate.
Wow.
And I had to prove American citizenship and had to prove that I was who I was. And like the other people are saying, there are other forms that they'll accept in addition to a birth certificate or those kind of papers. But yeah, Mom had stuck in my old passport and my American child military paper. We would have been in a search through the Washington bureaucracy to get my old military records if I hadn't found them.
To prove that you were who you are.
To prove that I was an American citizen, and because I had to have it to get my school bus transportation certificate. And you got to have it to get into, at that time, it was to drive into federal facilities and stuff like that, which wasn't an issue for us. But But anyway, yeah, it was good. It was a pain. But we had one driver who couldn't who was adopted, and it took months for him to get copies of his birth certificate from California and stuff. So it was a real pain.
Wow.
But anyway, that's my story.
Hey, Tony, go ahead. You were going to ask the same question I was going to ask. Go ahead. You go ahead and ask it. Go ahead and ask it.
So, all right, Tony, I got a couple questions for you, but the first one is, so do you have dual citizenship?
I had dual citizenship, France and the United States, up until I was 18. And at the time I turned 18, I grew up in Marshalltown. At the time I turned 18, I received papers from the French embassy stating, did I want to decline my French citizenship and state that I was American, or was I stating that I was French? And I declined my French citizenship.
Good choice. Good choice. Good choice. Just saying.
Yeah. Although I always wanted to go back. I always wanted to go back and see where I was born and stuff, but I haven't done that.
And before we let you go, people want to know online is your real last name Bussin, or is that just because you're a bus driver?
No, my real last name is Bussin, and so when my boss hired me after I retired from teaching and coaching, he says, "Well, I'm living the dream," because my nickname, my whole coaching and teaching career was Bus, truly, and so I am Bus, the bus driver, true, real deal.
Nice. Hey, Tony, have a great weekend, buddy.
Tony, thanks for the call, man. Drive safe, buddy. Have a great weekend.
You guys too. Enjoy the show. Thanks so much.
Thanks
Bye.
so much. 515-517-2303. We mentioned the fight for the entertainment dollar. The farmers market kicks off tomorrow in downtown Des Moines. We're going to talk bread, cinnamon rolls, good stuff from Big Sky when we come back on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
You've dreamed about an absolutely organized garage or closet? See it for yourself at Absolute Garage & Closet's beautiful showroom in Urbandale. See the latest in garage storage, custom closet systems, and epoxy flooring applications up close, and imagine how good it will feel to have your garage, closets, or other spaces absolutely organized. Free consultations, friendly service, and quick project turnarounds, Absolute Garage & Closets is ready to bring peace of mind into your home. Visit Absolute Garage & Closets at 3169 99th Street in Urbandale or at absolutegarage.net.
Spring is here, and so are spring pests. Whether it's birds in your dryer vent, raccoons in your chimney, squirrels in your soffit, ants in your kitchen, or bats in your attic, with over 20 years of experience, Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions can help. Call us today at 515-218-3400 to schedule your inspection and see how Bats and Bugs can help prevent your home from becoming their home.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
Brendan Santone here with Willis Cadillac. Well, we're already off to a jumping start. Have quite a few vehicles to select from. XT5, 4, and 6 are all still running special APR up to 84 months, along with rebates as well. Escalades, as you can see, we are getting a few here and there that are available. Stop out in person in Clive to visit us and see one of our 50 cars in stock, or at williscadillac.com.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know, high quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Listen to the Rush Radio Show all day long at therushradio.com. Just click that listen live link. You'll be able to tune in wherever we're at in the show. It runs all day, all night. If you are looking for the podcast, you can find it on your favorite podcast distributor or just right there at therushradio.com. We mentioned the fight for the entertainment dollar. I'm getting hungry, Ross. I'm getting really, really hungry.
I know. I know something that can cure that for you.
And what would that be? Lots of carbs and good bread. Lots of carbs and good bread.
So you need to get you some of their granola. There's your morning snack for you.
I don't know what this is going to look like because we're doing it looks like we're doing a double interview. So I don't know if both are going to fit in here or not. Steve Glass. Oh, there we go. You're going to have to go back and forth.
Sorry, Steve.
It's okay. Good morning, guys.
How you been, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, Travis, do you know this? You know that Steve was my first boss as an adult at the apartment complex. Steve was the maintenance man. I was his assistant. So we were the maintenance department.
So give me a good Ross Peterson story.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh. Where should we start?
Keep it legal. Keep it street legal.
Let's start in the morning, Ross.
Now, like I said, keep it legal.
So Ross had a couple of roommates, right? And these boys were all young and ready to party. And every morning, Ross was supposed to be to work at what time? 7:00. Well, at about 7:15, I would unlock Ross's front door where he
had
was
the key
on the couch. I would find the remote, turn on the TV, change the channel to Sports Center, and then wake Ross up so that he could watch Sports Center for 10 minutes before he even moved.
And then we'd get on a golf cart. So the first job we had to do was we'd drive around the grounds and pick up all the trash. And I would, of course, I'd just fall asleep on the golf cart so what Steve would do is he'd jerk the wheel.
And don't do that. John Elway's buddy just fell off the golf cart and died.
Yeah, Steve used to do that to me every morning. He would risk my life, man, every morning.
And Ross did get dumped
a couple times. I ended up in the parking lot. Yeah.
I think every near-death experience I've had has been on a golf cart.
I had one. Trav and I had one last summer going down a wet hill. He hit the brakes. Brakes didn't work. It was like, guess nature decides what happens to us now.
Right. Hey, there's certain things that adults shouldn't do, like, get crazy on golf carts, ride mini bikes.
Steve, let's talk about how you went from that world to Big Sky, because this is a family business.
Correct. It was family business.
It's your sister that's there with you, by the way. We should.
Yep, Amy.
Hey, Amy. How you been?
Good. How are you?
Doing wonderful.
So the way I got into the business, my dad bought this business in Omaha in 97 and moved it to Des Moines. After I left the apartment business, I was still in maintenance, but I went to the motel industry, working in Newton, then left there, went to work in a factory. Then the car market crashed in 2008. Car parts quit getting ordered. I came to the bakery just as a part-time thing to help out. And I was here for 2 days. And the baker said, well, how long are you going to be around, Steve? Because I'm going to put in my 2-week notice. And I've never left.
God has a way, man.
And then 4 years ago, Amy and I decided to buy Dad out. And now we're the owners. So a short
You mentioned
story.
you bought it from, was it Big Sky in Omaha or was it Great Harvest in Omaha?
It was Big Sky, and it was a national chain. And a year after Dad bought it, the corporation went bankrupt and left over 100 Big Skies nationwide independent. And I believe there's 5 left. So
wow.
Yeah. Wow. And so we've been here since 97, September of 97.
When did the farmers market become a part of the operation?
So Amy and I were just talking about that a little bit ago, and we're pretty sure that 2001 was our first year at the farmers market. So we've been doing it for a while.
Holy cow, dude.
So are you baking for the farmers market right now? And how much extra work does the farmers market add to like the daily toll for your daily stuff?
So as far as bread and cookies and cakes and the sweets, that the farmers market is about as much as we do throughout the week, just in those 5 hours.
Wow.
Now, granola is a different story. So every week we're selling around 1,000 pounds of granola, and we'll sell around 100 pounds of granola at the downtown farmers market.
Holy cow. Now, see, Steve, that's the thing that I'm most familiar with of your products is the granola, because I see it at Hy-Vee. But so people can get your granola from your store. They can come right to your store. Yep. And most Hy-Vees, they've got it right inside the front door. Mine here in the Drake neighborhood, literally you walk in the front door, it's the very first thing you see.
That's product placement. How'd you get that product placement?
Well, the managers like products that move.
And they like local.
And they like local. And if you get something that moves and it's local, they like it right there. So it's bam, in your face right there.
So at the farmers market, you do more in 5 hours than you do all week for bread, cookies, and stuff. What's the biggest seller? Is it cinnamon rolls? Is it cookies? Is it bread? Because I'm dying for a cinnamon roll. That's my weak spot, Ross, is a big old giant cinnamon roll with frosting on it.
So number one seller bread-wise at the farmers market is going to be our focaccia breads. We'll take about 100 loaves of focaccia bread this Saturday to the farmers market. And then we'll have around 50 loaves of sourdough, about 30 loaves of our garlic Asiago bread. And in total, we'll have, in addition to that, I'd say around 100 or 120 more loaves of bread. So, but those are going to be our biggest sellers.
See, I thought it would be like the actual breakfast that you're selling down there.
Well, that's at next door at Breakfast Guys and Gals. Is that what you're talking about, Ross?
Okay, I was thinking that. So that's not necessarily a part of Big Sky.
Well, that's my side job.
Oh, okay. So
you needed more to do.
So Amy's pushing you out there. She's like, talk about Big Sky.
Well, so we've been doing the farmers market for a long time, and the guy that I bought this stand from, we actually partnered up and we were going to run it together. And then Charlie passed away the year of COVID when the market was shut down, and that left me independent. So I've just been on my own in that business since then. But they're both next door to each other, and Amy helps me and I help her at the market, and we work together.
I see you guys go back and forth, so I make that mistake every summer of thinking that it's one big umbrella. But yeah,
I do want to ask Amy, what's it like to work with your brother? Because I have 3 brothers, and I guarantee none of us could work together.
And I've worked with her brother. It's not easy.
So I also have 3 older brothers. Okay. And no, Steve and I work really well together. We have our little moments, but we get over it pretty fast and just move on and get the job done. So we work really well together. I've also worked with another brother of ours, and we worked well together. I think it just depends on attitudes and how the day is going and if anything goes wrong or not. But no, we work well together. So it's fun.
Do you look forward to the farmers market?
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh, okay.
I do. I like going down there. It's a lot of fun
because they make money. If you're doing more than 5 hours than you do in a week,
Well,
you're
yeah,
like,
but
we're
dude,
looking forward to it.
what I meant is because of all of this extra work and the preparation, it's got to be a lot of stress. You're still putting a lot on the line every weekend, hoping on good weather and all that. That's what I mean. And at some point, I would think during the summer, you go, I'm done. Friday night, I just want to sleep in tomorrow.
Yeah, it does get to that point, but no, I like going down there because we develop relationships with a lot of customers, and some of them have come in during the winter and some of them don't. They just use that 6 months of farmers markets to get your breads or goodies or whatever they want to get, and then they use it as a treat and then don't get it for 6 months and then go back and get it. So, it's nice to see everybody again and all the vendors that you develop relationships with, and
Comes
nice
like
to be outside and the fresh, crisp air in the morning. I'm kind of looking forward to it.
It's gonna be nice tomorrow. I mean, it'll be chilly, but it'll be good one.
For sure.
All right, so for people who may, and because I'm in Omaha, obviously, I've been to the Des Moines Farmers Market a couple times. It is by far a superior farmers market. It reminds me, I go to Italy a lot, and the Des Moines Farmers Market reminds me a lot of Italian farmers markets or neighborhood markets. They're just so big, so much produce, and so much stuff you can buy. But if somebody's watching this and listening to it for the first time, where are you guys located? Because I think that's big if you don't know exactly where to go find Big Sky tomorrow.
Yeah, it's huge. It's actually, I think they said last time it's like a 12-block layout. So we are on 3rd Street, just north of Court Avenue.
That's a nice location.
Good one.
Yeah, it's a great one. We're right outside of the parking garage. So it's a great location.
What time do you got to get there in the morning to get set up before you? Is there like if you're not set up by a certain time? Sorry, you don't get a set up today.
Oh,
so we get down there. Yes, actually, there is. We get down there at about 5. All vendors have to be there and set up by 6:45.
Yeah,
and then the market starts at 7.
And I mean, Travis, if you want to get your vehicle down close to your spot, Amy's nailing it. You got to get there. Got to get there early. And you don't have to wait till Saturdays. You can always stop in on the store in Douglas and get all of the amazing products. I shouldn't say that. Are all of the products available throughout the week at the store?
A lot of them for the most part. Best day, if you want to get something that we would definitely have at the farmer's market, the best day to do that would be like a Friday in the afternoon between like 12 and 3. Otherwise, come see us at the farmer's market.
There you go. Avoid the rush. Stop in on Douglas today.
Yeah.
Do you have it down to perfection, or that roll of cookie didn't turn out the way I thought? I guess I'm gonna have to. That's waste, so I'm gonna have to take it home.
We make a lot of mistakes. I mean, I don't want to say a lot, but we make mistakes, and sometimes they're edible and sometimes they're not. So, it's always a good thing when they are edible, because then you can take some home. But
absolutely,
we try not to make mistakes.
All right, Amy and Steve, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I know it's going to be busy for you, and I know you're baking away, so get back to work, damn it. Get back to work.
They do like each other. Look.
Yeah, most of the time.
See you guys.
Hey,
thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll have you on again, buddy. Talk to you soon.
All right, we'll see you.
Thank you.
Next time we'll let Steve tell some of those awful stories, the illegal ones.
You had illegal stories?
Not illegal. We did have some. Steve and I had some interesting times out there, dude. Interesting times. It was a newer apartment complex, so we didn't
live at the apartment complex?
We both lived on site, which sucked because then you never left, dude. I never left. I woke up at work. I went to bed at work. It sucked. I loved Steve. I loved the people that I worked with there. It was a fun time in my life. I was 19 years old, living with my buddies. Met some incredible people, including Steve. Remember I've told you my story about Danny Harris.
Yeah.
I met Danny working and living at the complex.
Met a couple cougars living at the complex.
515-517-2303.
See, that's where you and I are different. I would tell that story. If that happened to me when I was 19, I'd be telling those stories left and right. I'd be like, oh, this one time.
At band camp.
At band camp.
was a fun time. It was great. And a lifelong friend with Steve and his wife, Terry, and Amy. And so been wonderful to have that time in my life.
Again, the farmers market kicks off downtown Des Moines tomorrow. It's a 12-block radius. It's massive. So go visit Big Sky. Tell them you buy some granola, buy some bread, buy some, and go, hey, we heard about you on The Rush.
Dude, have you guys gotten into because you and Anjanette are a little bit of foodies. Have you guys gotten into the sourdough craze?
Not the craze. I follow a couple of Instagrammers that do sourdough stuff. They're like, oh, it's gut healthy. Yeah, but look at all the other crap you're putting in it. And you're like, oh, we're doing chocolate chip sourdough. Remember, it's gut healthy. Yeah, it might be gut healthy. That's about as far as it goes.
I know nothing about it. She just mentioned the sourdough. I was like, oh, I've heard a lot of people are getting into that lately.
Dude, and here's the hard part. I love bread. I love it. Well, to help me lose the 75 pounds that I've lost, I have eliminated carbs from my diet. I don't eat bread anymore. And I thought I would miss sugar, because you know me and sugar. You've watched me with the chewy sweet tarts.
Yeah.
I mean,
bag of them.
I love sugar. I thought I'd miss the sugar the most. I miss the bread the most. Bread,
really?
Yeah. And you get a good.
I'm with you on the sugar. I cut the sugar out. It doesn't. I don't miss that at all.
No,
I don't miss.
You realize how good you feel. But
yeah.
bread is kind of like a fuel. Those carbs, that's a good fuel. Sugar is that short-term high. You're like, oh, I got my sugar rush. Bread just like sustains you. You feel like you get some olive oil, some balsamic vinegar, and you're dipping and eating. You're like, yeah, I feel like a man.
So now I'm going to have to get your address to Steve and Amy so they can send you some granola, because that's what you need in the morning.
A little energy boost from the granola.
Yeah.
Nice. Very, very nice. Hey, did you see where the Ravens, I was going to bring this up yesterday, but I didn't get to it, did not exercise the option on Tyler Linderbaum's 5th-year rookie contract?
Yes, I did see that.
They want to keep Tyler Linderbaum. He is an absolute beast and one of the best centers in the National Football League. Of course, former Iowa Hawkeye. But they don't want to pay him. And I shouldn't say they don't want to pay him, but what it was going to come out to is that if they exercise that option, he was going to get $23.4 million next year, which would have been $5 million more than the next highest paid center. And they were like,
I think what their line was, that's tackle money. We love you. We think you're amazing. You nailed it there, Travis. He is fantastic. He deserves to be one of the highest paid centers in the league, but the structure of that would have made it not worth it, quite frankly. I mean,
but there's a gamble in that because he becomes an unrestricted free agent. He is not protected now. So there will be a bidding war for Tyler Linderbaum.
It'll be interesting to see how, I mean, again, I think that it's important just to say they didn't pick up his contract and it wasn't performance based.
Yeah. I mean, they've said, no, our intent is to retain him.
Yep. But we just have to restructure this thing so that it makes financial sense for us.
But if you're an agent, if you're a player, you're like, oh, okay. I've performed all pro level, considered one of the best centers in the league. You're going to have to pay me regardless. And centers aren't going to get cheaper, but I get it. It's all just moving stuff around and making sure that, but man, I didn't know this. Yeah. And when you said it's not tackle money, do you know who the highest paid left tackle in the National Football League is?
Is it Tristan Wirfs?
It is.
Yep.
It is. So in the next couple of years, you might have the highest paid center and the highest paid left tackle all from the University of Iowa. Mick is asking because Ross is wearing a Rush shirt. When in the hell are we going to be able to buy Rush gear?
Well, Mick, this was like your flag. This, unfortunately, was like a one-off, two-off, actually. Our friend Frank, our listener, made these for me and Travis when we first started the show. So I know we say this a lot. We're working on it.
Yeah.
We're working on it. Promise it's coming. It's coming.
We're trying very, very hard. Ross, did you know North Carolina had a homewrecker law?
North Carolina has a home wrecker law. Can you explain this a little bit more to me?
It's better known as alienation of affection. So Steve Smith, a former Carolina Panther superstar wide receiver, ended up playing for the Ravens, doing some stuff for the National Football League network, is doing stories like on really unusual jobs in the National Football League. And he goes to Baltimore, and he's doing a story on the Ravens marching band. I had no idea that the Ravens had a marching band until this. Well, struck up a conversation with a lady in the band. That conversation turned to text messages. That conversation turned to sexting. Then it turned to real sex. And this lady's husband found out about it, called him out, and now is suing Steve Smith in North Carolina for $100,000 for sleeping with his wife. They call it the homewrecker law.
What do they say? FAFO, right?
But it does take two to tango, right?
Yes, it does. Yeah. Yeah, it does. I have no problem with this. I have no problem with this at all. Damn. The guy called out Steve Smith on Twitter. Remember that? He said basically it was like, hey, by the way, this is what's happening. Here's who Steve Smith is. And I'll be honest, at $100,000, I wouldn't have been surprised if you said he's suing him for $100 million.
There's probably a cap when it comes to
Steve Smith doesn't have that kind of money, but $100,000, he's getting that. If there's a law that says, hey, you sleep with a married person, then that's against the law, then yeah, get your money, man. Steve Smith's got it.
7 states total have homewrecker laws. Not probably states you would expect. You want to.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Well, when I think of homewrecker laws, I think South, Bible Belt. I think,
Oh, I see. Okay.
Deep rooted in family American traditions.
Okay. So then what are the states that have it?
Hawaii.
Okay.
Hey, when you get landlocked on an island, things happen. I'm just saying.
We got to put some laws in place around this.
You're landlocked on an island. Yeah, I'm sick of you. I see that person every single day on the beach.
You're telling me Thurston Howell never got wandering eyes. That's
to Ginger or Marianne. He's like, man, I'm Thurston Howell the third. Illinois has a homewrecker law.
Okay.
New Mexico has a homewrecker law.
Okay.
North Carolina, Mississippi, South Dakota.
Wow.
And then the final one is Utah.
Okay.
Which kind of doesn't make sense because I thought the Mormons were polygamous.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. I mean, I thought they could have all their sister wives.
As long as one's not breaking up the other one, you're good.
Yeah. They all have their own individual cottages. I'm here on Monday, here on Tuesday.
It's just an addendum.
Oh.
I saw a story. We have a few minutes here for top of the hour, right?
Yep.
I saw a story out of Connecticut today that I wanted to share with you. The first funny story I found today was a Powerball winner in Kentucky, the day after he claimed his $167 million prize. They've got the picture of him with the giant check. He got into a bar fight and got arrested by back-to-back days. He's in the news. First, local man wins $173 million. Local man in jail for fighting people in a bar. That was the funny one. This is the crazy one. This one's from Connecticut. A Cheshire High School sophomore, Jenica Matos, has thrown 3 no-hitters in this last season. One of those no-hitters was in a Connecticut Class Double-L state championship semifinal game against the Blue Knights of Southington High School. Okay. Now, that might not be real impressive to a lot of people. A high school girl throwing a couple of no-hitters. She's a sophomore. That happens, right? What's amazing about this is this girl's blind. Okay, when she was 10 years old, she got diagnosed with a rare condition that slowly caused her eyesight to fade. Now, she's not completely blind, Travis, but she cannot see. She cannot make out things 3 to 4 feet from her face. Wow. That's how blurry her vision is. But she was pitching before she lost total eyesight. And because of that, she's got the muscle memory to continue pitching. She's a sophomore dealing out no hitters at the state championship semifinals, and she's legally blind.
That's good. That's crazy that you can have that muscle memory.
She has a thing called Stargardt disease.
Is that like macular degeneration?
It kind of is, Travis. It says, but hers has stopped. Her vision got worsened from the age of 10 to 15 to the point now where she is legally blind, but it's not getting any worse right now. Probably will, and she'll eventually be blind. It's incredible.
I want you to go down to Principal Park. I want you to get on the mound. I want you to close your eyes and see if your muscle memory can throw it over the plate.
You couldn't hit the backstop. They could put up the cage that they hit in. You might not get it inside of that.
Is there anything that you do repetitively that you think, oh, if I was blind, I could do this?
Well, one thing.
That's not it. Don't move. Don't move. Oh, yes. 515-517-2303. So we've covered the farmer's market. We want to thank Steve and Amy Glass for coming on.
Well,
and
lots of yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No.
Brain going other places, but
tonight you got the WWE at Wells Fargo Arena, and you have UFC tomorrow night. When we come back, Chris Conley from Wells Fargo Arena and the Iowa Event Center going to be joining us on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's $25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's $25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's $25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
Spring is here, and so are spring pests. Whether it's birds in your dryer vent, raccoons in your chimney, squirrels in your soffit, ants in your kitchen, or bats in your attic, with over 20 years of experience, Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions can help. Call us today at 515-218-3400 to schedule your inspection and see how bats and bugs can help prevent your home from becoming their home.
You've dreamed about an absolutely organized garage or closet? See it for yourself at Absolute Garage & Closet's beautiful showroom in Urbandale. See the latest in garage storage, custom closet systems, and epoxy flooring applications up close, and imagine how good it will feel to have your garage, closets, or other spaces absolutely organized. Free consultations, friendly service, and quick project turnarounds, Absolute Garage & Closets is ready to bring peace of mind into your home. Visit Absolute Garage & Closets at 3169 99th Street in Urbandale or at absolutegarage.net.
Hey everybody, this is Mason Miller, sales manager out here at Willis Infinity. A couple of great things going on this month. We got tons of inventory, and on top of that, right now, we have 1.99 out to 60 months on the new QX60 and up to $2,500 in cash on here. Also this month, we are still doing the 2.9% up to 60 on new QX80s, the 3000 in Conquest. For more information, visit your favorite Infinity sales consultant on our showroom or online at willisinfinity.com.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
Looking for the perfect golf escape? Experience links-style golf right here in Ames at Coldwater Golf Links. With rolling fairways, large greens, and unique routing, it's golf the way it's meant to be played. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, you'll love our course's welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. Grab your clubs, book a tee time, and make every round unforgettable. Coldwater Golf Links, where great golf leads to great memories. Visit coldwatergolf.com to book your round today.
We've returned and we brought snacks, sarcasm, and absolutely no sense of shame. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Hour number 2 of the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Happy Friday, everybody. 1 hour in the books. That flew right on by, much like the week. We got an hour to go. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. We've been talking all morning about the busy weekend coming up in Des Moines, the fight for the entertainment dollar, and there's a huge fight for it. But I think everybody gets along, right? I mean, everybody gets along, and I think all the events will be successful. You've got the farmers market tomorrow morning. You got Bacon Fest tomorrow afternoon. And then tomorrow night, you got UFC. Oh, and let's not forget tonight, you've got WWE. Wells Fargo Arena is going to have...
A busy man joins us now.
Yeah. So what are you going to have, Chris? Like 36,000 people in your arena over the next 2 days?
Not quite that much, but it's a lot. Like tonight for WWE, it's pretty cool too. Like WrestleMania was just 2 weeks ago. So to be able to book this show coming off that momentum, I mean, it's a monster for us. So tonight for WWE, we'll probably have about 9,000 plus. And then UFC is a different beast. Like right now, you're looking at like 15,000, but we know we'll be able to open more seats after they get set on Saturday because they have these huge video screens that go up in the upper level, and they're conservative about the seats that are killed. And then once we get the setup, we'll release a bunch of tickets and they'll go too.
So you're saying there's a possibility for walk-up is what you're saying?
100%. And that's one of my biggest things that I would push out to you guys. Like, look, somebody might go on the system like last night or this morning and might not be able to find something, but they should keep checking today. They should keep checking tomorrow. A lot of the way this works too is, I mean, you guys know UFC is week to week. They were just in Kansas City last week. Okay. So during the course of this week, they're getting organized for Des Moines. They have a bunch of tickets that they have on consignment. They bring their own people in, guests in, whatnot. Some of those will be returned, and we don't know when, right? It'll happen periodically over the course of the day. So we know we'll get some tickets back for that, and we also know we'll get some production tickets back on Saturday. But it's neat. So I would just tell somebody, if they're interested, don't give up. There'll be tickets out there.
Has this show, the UFC show, has this exceeded your expectations or what your team thought was going to happen here, Chris?
You know, Ross, I don't know. This is the first time we've done it. Just similar, going back to 2016.
Let me rephrase that. I thought some of the passion for UFC had died off. I thought maybe you'd missed the window. When you announced this event, I thought, oh, this will be good. They'll get 12,000 people in the arena for that. Dude, this thing, I'm amazed at how many people have been clamoring for tickets for this thing or are excited about this. And again, that's what I meant. Is the excitement for this show more than you anticipated? Or is this what you thought it would be?
No, it's exceeded it. It really has. Like, I don't know. I'm not a big UFC guy. It's not that I don't like it. I just don't follow it. I have other things that are going on, right? And we just haven't had the opportunity. This is the first time to host it. And, like I was going to say, like the first time that we got NCAA basketball, like you don't know. Like we sold that event out as part of the pre-sale. And I'm like, all right, good. We're good there. UFC is a different beast. And like they sent us a ton of information as we were working through the process. And the one thing that I had a hard time getting my head around is the breakdown. The breakdown is that on Saturday night, 40% of the people that bought tickets will be out of town. And this is for a fight night. And like, I would not expect that. And that's what's in all their information. So Ross, Adam Flack in our marketing department did a deep dive, right? And we looked at zip codes and who bought tickets. As of yesterday, someone in 42 different states outside of Iowa has purchased tickets for this event. And I'll tell you what, and you know what's interesting about that is it's like, we had a couple people, we had an internal meeting going through all this, and they're like, no, those tickets that were bought in New York, that's a broker. But it's not. Like, you're seeing 2s and 4s and like odd numbers. Like, the brokers are big slots of tickets. So come on, we know some of the brokers are grabbing tickets up, but so to answer your question, I didn't have a good feel for how this was going to turn out. I certainly didn't believe there'd be people from 42 different states buying tickets.
That's incredible.
And I can tell you this, and this is a pretty neat thing. Like, as of Wednesday, this is nonstop UFC this week, by the way. It's calls, like, set up, and the production going from WWE to UFC, like, nothing is similar, right? Like, WWE is getting set up right now. That'll go up tonight. Totally different set. That'll completely come down. Literally, the stagehands that put up the sound and lights, they're going to be sleeping here for like 2 days. They will jump right in and start setting up UFC tomorrow. It's crazy. It's a lot of work. And just because it's the same ownership group, they're not a similar set. Not even close.
Who has a bigger setup, the WWE or the UFC?
It's although they're different, they're both large. I don't know, Trav. At some point I'm going to walk over and check it both out. So I'm here the next 2 days. I mean, we can see it. You can see how it's set up and the labor calls and all of that. They're similar in size. They're both massive, is the best way I can put it. And for me, this is the first time I'm seeing this kind of a big live UFC event.
UFC is there's a lot of moving parts with that. They obviously are used to slamming into other towns and doing this. What is working with that organization been like? This is the first time for your team.
It's been great. And it's like, I go back to like the NCAA model. Like, the first thing we need to do, it's like, and you're always nervous. This is a high price ticket. When you talk NCAA basketball, the tickets are reasonably priced for the amount of games you get. Like, it's not crazy high. It's reasonable. So UFC is expensive. So I give you an example, Ross. Like, the tickets that we hold in the lower level, like for our clients, like we call households, right? We hold on to a chunk of those. Those seats are $250 per ticket. That's a lot of money. That's $500 for a pair. So I guess my point going back to it is we had no idea, including Adam and all the research we've done. We didn't know what we would do off this on sale, and the on sale was huge. So right off the bat, we sold a ton of tickets and we put ourselves in a really good spot. So that was great. And that took pressure off. Because honestly, like, I remember going through the conversations with UFC, and I think I told you guys this. It's like a bid process. Like, I had to put together a financial package for them. And I remember in the first call, they basically said, hey, look, Des Moines not on the top 10 list. So you need to bring it on the financial side of it. So we did. And I think we put together a good package. Talking about the 42 states and all these people coming in, it is an economic driver. Like, it is massive. And that's why we really need to catch Des Moines. Like, UFC, when they pick the date, they're just like, well, we'll take every hotel downtown. It's wide open. It doesn't work like that. You guys mentioned all the stuff that's going on in Des Moines. The one thing that's not even on your guys' radar, it's on mine because it's in my building. We have a massive youth club volleyball tournament, Midwest GVA. And I'm telling you guys, like, everything worked out great with UFC in terms of the deal and whatnot. Where we almost lost this thing is we didn't have enough hotel rooms that had tubs for the athletes because we have so much going on. And that's where Catch Des Moines jumps in, and Trina Flack and Greg. And like, look, they massaged everything. Like, if you're somebody that's not forward thinking, they could have been like, it's too bad. We're sold out. Nope. Everybody worked together and we figured it out. So,
okay. How many fights are there total?
Oh my.
Oh yeah. I can look that up for you, Trav, because there's a preliminary card. Yeah. There, a dozen. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. I think I saw 12, 13, but it's nuts, guys. Like tomorrow night, doors will open at 5:00 for this. The prelim bouts start just after 6. The main event, the main card won't start until a little after 9:00. So it's going to be a long night.
Think about, but the reason I asked the question is that there's 12 or 13 fights. So you're talking 24 or 26 tubs. There weren't enough rooms with tubs for 26 athletes.
Well, again, Trav, if you follow what Chris was saying there, those volleyball teams probably sniped up those rooms very early on, and not just because they had tubs in them. They were just buying up hotel rooms by the block.
Absolutely.
And then
yeah, and like in our world with the conventions and the big events, like it's already on the radar, right? Like I've talked to you guys for months. Like this didn't materialize until like January. this event didn't go on sale until mid-March. We're barely into May.
We got a tub at the Red Roof Inn.
I mean, again, this is why it takes. We're always bragging about the hard work that Chris does. How amazingly lucky we are to have a guy like Greg Edwards in this town.
Yep.
When you get to look under the hood for a second, you realize the team of people it takes to bring events like this to a place like Des Moines. I mean, and you just nibbled on it for a second there, Chris. When you reach out to the UFC and say, "Hey, we're Des Moines," their first response is, "Who? You're not a top 10 city.
Absolutely.
You're not Miami. You better bring it." So you got to have a group of people that are willing to get into that fight and see a vision to be able to win that fight. So, dude, good job.
Ross, you're right. And just like NCAA basketball, right? Like, this is an audition for us. In 2016, we first hosted. If we sucked or didn't sell tickets or weren't ready to sell or weren't organized, the NCAA is like, we're not coming back to Des Moines. Yeah. I'd argue we went the other way. And like, you look at it, it's unreal. Like 2016, 2019, 2023, we just got a bid in 28. Look at all the top buildings and markets that put bids in for that 2-year bid cycle that didn't get it. One that comes to mind is Milwaukee. So you got to show up. And it's more than just being in the facility. I'm a venue manager. That's what I do. With Greg and his team and the partnership, like, man, it's having all the buildings light up. It's rolling out the red carpet. It's bringing the Cicerettes around to every hotel when the teams are checking in. Like, look, if you're not doing that stuff, it can be boring. And like, they don't have to be in Des Moines, but they get here and they're like, damn, they care, you know? Yeah. So it's pretty cool. And this is UFC. Like, it really is. And that's why, you know, I was talking to my contact at UFC on Wednesday night. There's a million phone calls this week, just going back and forth. And she's like, hey, at the end of the call, she's like, I just want to let you know, we feel like we're in a really good spot in Des Moines. And sitting here right now on Wednesday night, you sold more tickets in Des Moines for the event, and that'll continue to grow, than Kansas City last week. That doesn't happen that often. It doesn't. So that's a big deal. We're on the right track.
They let you know the VIP list. Is Dana White coming in?
Dana, honestly, Trav, this one is going back and forth a lot. We have accommodations set up for him, but we don't know for sure if he's coming in. What we do know is, at least for now, that the president's not coming in, or that would have gone up to a whole different level. So,
how many venue managers go, please don't let the president come? It doesn't matter who's president at the time. It's like, no president, no president, no president.
It's tough. I mean, I think I talked to you guys when we hosted basketball, NCAA basketball in 23, and the vice president came in. I mean, it's like, I found out a couple of days before they wanted us to secure a suite for the vice president. I had to tell the NCAA that's a good theory, but it's like, we're all sold out, right? And they're like, we'll just move them. We're like, no, nobody in the suite's moving downstairs. So literally, we had to get a suite holder to be willing to share their suite with the vice president. We had to shut off half the suite level. Anyone in that vicinity had to get a background check, including the guest in the suite. I mean, it's a lot. And that's not even the president, you know? So I think we're good without that this time around.
Got a question. I know you got Eric Church coming in September, right?
Yep.
You know, Eric Church is on tour now. He's probably printed all his T-shirts. Is it going to say Wells Fargo Arena, or is it going to say Casey Center? If you called Eric Church and said, hey, before you print your T-shirts, just to let you know, we're going to be changing names here.
You guys laugh, but it's a great question, because the way this thing works is we're under contract with Wells Fargo through the end of June. So what we did when we made the announcement going to Casey Center, we basically reached out to all the promoters and agents. Once we hit July 1, like, say any advertising for Eric Church, it does change to Casey Center. So,
but how about his T-shirts?
Wow.
His T-shirts will not be printed up just quite yet.
Okay.
They'll wait. Wow. But no, they know, Trav, right? Yeah. They're not going to print it up with Wells Fargo.
Oh, are you getting ready? I'm sure you're working on that right now, right? I mean, I'm sure stuff's in the transition starting to take place slowly but surely.
It's so much. It's more than just signage. You know, I think I talked to you guys about this, but Casey's is doing a build out of a mini store that will go on the concourse where they're selling pizza and snacks. So it's like, we got one pizza provider in Board Narrows, which we're trying to get out, and we're trying to bring Casey's in. And like, it's not going to happen between the end of June and July 1. So like, all that stuff is starting now. And luckily we have good partners that are working with us, but it is a lot of work because there's a stores being built. There's a permitting process. We have all the signage. I mean, like, I look back and I'm like, the convention center side on that, the name change was way, way easier than what the arena is. Like, if you look at all the signage around the arena, but yeah, we meet weekly. We have a meeting today. We meet every single Friday to go through progress on this. But the idea is come July 1, you'll see all the permanent exterior signage up. Our Casey's store will be rolling. You'll be able to get Casey's Pizza. And luckily it's happening at a good time. We're slower in July and August, so we can really take some time to transition this.
All right, Chris. Good. So, anything you can drop on us? Anything break news here on the Rush Radio Show?
No, not breaking news, but I'm a little surprised you guys didn't bring up the big on sale that we have this morning.
What's that?
The Kings of the West tour, Bone Thugs and Harmony, E40, Dog Pound.
I had
no
idea.
Travis, you're coming to town for this one.
Too short.
Those are too short.
Yeah.
Why you got to say it like that? Blow the whistle.
Yep. So
is it?
You guys didn't know about it, so I guess I did drop a.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to follow up with maybe a dumb question. Is this a big deal?
This will be. I mean, yeah. That's a fun concert for people in my demographic. Trav, this is a fun. Absolutely. Too short.
What I would say to that, Trav, so we're working with the guy that brought in Lil Wayne last April, and that crushed it, right? So he kind of floated this by us initially. So the show is going to be July 11th, right? It's on a weekend night, and I think that'll be great. Initially, they were going to do it closer to the fair, and I had explained to him, although there's not other artists of the same demographic, the fair is a beast, and you just don't want to go head-to-head with it. So we looked at it, and even though Sam Summers isn't a partner, I kind of floated it by him, and everybody thought it was a cool little package on a weekend night. So you ask, what's our expectation? Our expectation is 6,000-7,000, fill the lower bowl, do something neat in the summertime where we're pretty slow.
Fun show in the middle of the week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reverend Ray says he's going to be there. I guess that's not a shock to a lot of people.
I'm glad I brought it up. That's good.
See? Selling tickets for you already this morning.
Yeah. Hey, guys, one more thing, if I can. I hadn't talked to you in a while, and I just wanted to recognize two people. One's Bryce Miller, who you guys talked about at the register. I haven't had a chance to talk about this, but, I met Bryce a long time ago, and you talk about a talented writer, but a smart guy. He's the first guy in the media that I can honestly tell you that him and I had a disagreement on something that he put out online, and I said, hey, that's wrong. And instead of kind of coming back at me with an attitude, Bryce said, hey, let's sit down and go through this. We went through it, and he made a correction in print. First interaction I ever had with him, and that's how Bryce was. And that's Bryce the person. Great writer, better person. So really sad to see that happen. And the second one is Jay Byers, who was with the Greater Des Moines Partnership, president of Simpson College. And Jay was so positive. And you talk about a vision, just the stuff that we worked on with him, the downtown Hilton that's attached to us. We don't have that Hilton without a Jay Byers and his vision. And I remember years before it came to fruition, there wasn't funding. People were arguing and all this stuff. And Jay got in the middle in every meeting. He's like, hey, and he'd point at me. He's like, we're going to get this done. So lost another good one. So between the two of them, thoughts and prayers to both of them. They'll be missed.
All right, Chris, I know you're going to be busy. I think you got the cot in the office. You're not even going to go home. You've got the hot pot, the microwave, air mattress.
It's a busy weekend, but hey, it's so much going on. You guys mentioned it earlier. We all do work together, and I love to see it because these people that are coming into town that can go to the farmer's market or a baseball game or Bacon Fest or whatever, they're going to leave and they're like, Des Moines badass, and they're going to want to come back just all the time. So I root for all this stuff. So it's going to be a great weekend, and I appreciate you guys supporting it and pushing it.
I say it all the time, dude. We're lucky to have you. Thanks a lot.
I appreciate it, guys.
See you tonight, buddy.
See you,
have
Chris.
a great weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Chris Conley from the Iowa Event Center, Wells Fargo Arena, joining us on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Busy weekend.
I don't know how else to say it when you have that guy on and you see the work that they're putting in and what is available to us here in Des Moines, Iowa. Think about that. People from 42 different states are going to come to Des Moines, Iowa, most of them for the very first time, or maybe the only time. And they're going to walk around a town that's going to have Bacon Fest happening, a huge national volleyball tournament, farmers market. The WWF just got out, or WWE just left town. They're posting, when you walk around the venue for UFC, you're going to see that Eric Church is coming to town. That's the type of stuff you leave and go home. You go, dude, we've been sleeping on Des Moines. That place is sweet.
And Shane Gillis is coming to town.
Oh, yeah, by the way, Shane Gillis. Yeah.
And if you want Shane Gillis tickets, the best place to get those would be right here on the Rush Radio Show, because you can go to Bacon Fest tomorrow, and you're going to see Ross. There's going to be a little poster. Could be a little poster with fat me and little skinny Ross. And Ross could be there, and
I'll be a little fatter than I am on the poster. Travis is a lot skinnier than he was on the poster.
And that was just last fair. I look at that, I'm like, oh my God, I look different than even last August. But if you are at Bacon Fest tomorrow, make sure to get a hold of Ross, and he'll get you registered to win those Shane Gillis tickets. Another one of the big events that is coming to Des Moines. We talked about Tyrese Halliburton's dad earlier in the week and his confrontation with Giannis. Ross, the Pacers front office has had conversations with Tyrese's dad, and it's now been determined that for the foreseeable future, Dad's not going to be at home or away games. They've said, stay away. Overreaction, underreaction? I'm kind of torn on this.
No, right thing to do.
Hear me out. Just hear me out.
Okay.
I probably agree with like one game. However, all I say is this. Okay, you can come to the games, but you don't get to sit courtside. We're going to put you in a suite. We're going to put you somewhere to where you are basically out of sight, out of mind, and you don't become a distraction.
Yeah.
Being a parent, I think he knows he screwed up. It's one of those things like you can come to the games, but you're going to be so far out. So you disagree with me on that.
You don't get to come to the games for a while. You don't. You did something that stupid. You don't get to come to the games for a while. And when you do get to come back to the games, we are going to put you as far away from the court as if we let you back to the games. This is you broke the rules. You embarrassed your family, embarrassed your son, embarrassed the franchise. Cleveland's now putting T-shirts out of I know that was an AI thing, but it's going to become a thing. So no, you have to go away for a while. I love it when people are like, well, it's a free country. You have freedom of speech. Isn't he an American too? Yeah, he did exercise his freedom. He did. He walked right out onto the court, did his thing.
Which is you're not supposed to do. That's against the law.
And you don't get freedom of consequence. You can say the things you want, you can do the things you want, and then all of us get to react to that. You embarrassed yourself, embarrassed your family, embarrassed the franchise. You have to go away for a while. You don't get to come to the games. This is the find out part of fuck around. You want to be that guy? You want to wave my flag in Giannis's face? Okay, you did it. Good job. Now here's the consequences of that. You don't get to be in the house when your son plays in his most important games in his career. And, that's not fair to the dad. Nope. This is the consequence of a bad decision. And there's got to be heavy enough so that the rest of his life, when he's at an NBA game, he thinks to himself, oh yeah, I can't walk out onto the court. Because you know why? This ain't about me. This ain't about me.
That's a tough conversation to have with Tyrese himself, saying, "Hey, here's the deal. We love you. You're our best player. Your dad doesn't get a." I mean, do you think that's a tough conversation to have?
No, not at all. I don't think that's a tough conversation at all. I think you call him and you go, "Hey, you know what happened there, and you know what we have to do here, right? This is a professional organization. This isn't Little League. We got to set some ground rules here to make sure that nobody ever does this again." Because your dad is actually one of the fun ones. Your dad actually controlled himself out there. Some dads would not be able to.
Ross is laughing because coming up next on the Rush Radio Show,
I love this man. This is amazing.
He's in rare form. You guys can't see him or hear him right now, but Brooks Reynolds is like taking his shirt off.
Oh, he's at Bacon Fest. I love it. You don't have to tell everybody that this. That was for me and you. That was for us. Yeah, you don't have to share that with everybody.
I love that man. I do. I love him like a brother. Yeah, I guess when I look at the Tyrese thing, and I know where you're coming from, I just look at it and maybe I'm developing empathy in my old age, Ross. I'm developing empathy. I know it's really scary that I'm developing empathy, but I look at it and go, just put me in the nosebleeds, just so I can watch my kid.
Nope, you made that big of a mistake. You get to watch the game from home for a while, maybe this whole series, maybe the rest of this season, and maybe the rest of his career. We say, again, that might be a stretch to say you don't get to come back, but when you come back, you're nowhere near the court.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
And
problem with that.
In fact, you've created such a stir here. You've now become so recognizable. We might actually have to put you in a suite. We don't want to do that, but we might have to, because you're going to be a distraction anywhere in the arena. We're afraid to put you in the 300 section because guys up there are going to go, hey, I know you.
Tyrese's dad.
You're the guy that can't control himself, wants to go after Giannis and thinks he's a tough guy, wants to beat up 7-footers. You want to try that with me? Takes a couple of drinks and you got some jerk doing that to him up in the 300 section.
Tyler goes, Tyrese went up a notch on my hate meter for being a professional about this situation.
Tyrese handled it. Tyrese handled it really well.
He did.
Yeah, and I don't think this is necessarily indicative. I think his dad this will be the last we see of this sort of behavior from his dad. His dad seems like a good guy. Let this get the best of him. His emotions overwhelmed him, but you can't control it in that situation. You don't get to sit there anymore, ever.
The 17th annual Blue Ribbon Bacon Festival coming up tomorrow at the Iowa State Fairgrounds, the Agricultural Building. Ross is going to be on location. He's going to get people signed up for Shane Gillis tickets. And we're going to talk to Mr. Bacon himself. Mr. Bacon, Brooks Reynolds, next on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
I'm Corey Warren, and I'm an automotive technician here. I've worked here for right over 3 years. I was working for an independent shop. I'd say the environment, it's laid back and easy to get along with everybody. I've got a lot of old cars me and my brothers and dad work on, so I do a lot of that stuff. There's actually stuff to do. I grew up in a small town, so there's not that far from being able to do stuff.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's 25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
Do you have a pest problem? With over 20 years of experience, Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions is Central Iowa's local expert in fast, effective, eco-friendly pest solutions at a fair price for your home or business. Call us today at 515-218-3400.
Believe it or not, spring is coming. When it does, be absolutely organized with custom garage or closet systems from Absolute Garage and Closets. Turn a winter mess into a spring success at our showroom in Urbandale or visit absolutegarage.net.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
Are you thinking about buying a home this year? Start by getting pre-approved with Gary Presnall at Northwest Bank in Des Moines to see how much you can qualify for and what loan programs meet your needs. Gary can get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less with a pre-approval letter to you. Gary offers first-time homebuyers programs, VA loans along with FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Spring cleaning continues. Come down to Land Rover Des Moines to get your front and rear differential fluid services done for $199.95 each. Preventative maintenance is important to ensure your vehicle runs smoothly down the road. To schedule, give us a call or head online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
The best bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Started my morning with a Topo Chico Tangerine from Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling. Makes the throat burn on the way down, buddy. Makes the throat burn.
Makes the throat burn.
Yeah.
You had a good burp before we started.
Oh, man. This stuff makes me burp really good. Is it two things that make you feel really good? A really good burp and a really good fart.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
I don't burp.
You don't burp?
I can't, dude. If I burp, it means I'm probably throwing up. I don't burp.
Wow.
But I fart.
No idea.
Fart
good.
with the best of them.
All right, coming up tomorrow, Iowa State Fairgrounds, Agricultural Building, the 17th Annual Blue Ribbon Bacon Festival. Ride the bacon boat. The captain of said ship joins us now on the Rush Radio Show, the one, the only Brooks Reynolds. What's up there, buddy?
Good morning. You like my little show for you earlier?
You're at the Agricultural Building right now.
Yes, sir.
You're
I'm
all
here
set
in
up?
the center of the Ag Building, right in front of the main stage. Thought I'd give you a little sneak peek to where we're at here for the 17th Annual Blue Ribbon Bacon Festival.
Can you give us a sneak peek behind like the preparation of this? I mean, I know we've talked to you the last several years about this, Brooks. It's always amazing the logistics that go into this event, and not just the food side of it, the entertainment side of it. I mean, there's so much happening. Can you kind of peel back the curtain on how long you've been at the fairgrounds, what this looks like? How long have you guys been cooking bacon? When does that start? All that.
Yeah, no, this is great. I mean, this is going to be our third year back again at the Iowa State Fairgrounds. The Ag Building is such a great space for us to utilize. It's 2 levels. It's actually kind of looks like the interior of a cruise ship with, kind of the promenade deck upstairs. And, again, right behind, we've got 4 bands here tomorrow. We've got the Sheet, Unfortunate Son, Tony Bonenkamp is going to be rocking up at the Iowa Lottery Piano Lounge with his smooth tunes. He's a very sexy man. And then we have Yachty by Nature, which is going to be playing on the main stage. They're actually flying in from Southern California today. And yeah, there's just it takes a village, as they say, to put on the Blue Ribbon Bacon Festival. We've got a lot of people that have been kind of here all week, kind of getting ready. Really, I lean on the great team at Campbell's Concessions, Grant Campbell, Brandon Schroeder, and their Campbell's crew have kind of helped us just because they're here. I mean, they've got, they do stuff at the fairgrounds pretty much 52 weeks a year. So it's great to utilize their staff and their kind of expertise. And Mindy Toyne in any event, she's herding a lot of cats. Tom Zamolik from People's Productions, who's kind of helped me with my music production for, I think, 10, 12 years. Luke Seelman, Director of Operations, he's kind of helps me as well with JR South Fork Ranch. That he's been great. Pumper and Stoney, 2 of my boys. The guys you see at JR's or Bacon Fest that have like the ZZ Top beards, even though Pumper looks like Santa now. Like yesterday, the Roosevelt Senior Party parents were helping us prep bacon. The hardest part of this is cooking all that effing bacon. I mean, we've got to cook, over, I think, 20,000 slices of bacon.
Wow.
And just to kind of get ahead of it, we put it on baking sheets with parchment paper and then kind of just stack it up just so that, again, it's just prep and getting ready. And then Chef Sarah Tuttle of JR South Fork Ranch, she's been getting ready to fry up about 4,000 party balls. That's going to be JR's signature food item at this year's Bacon Fest. I'm just trying to think what's some other stuff that I can
the
look
lobster roll's the signature food.
Well, yeah, but the bacon food, a bacon food
Okay.
item. I mean, we did have bacon on a lobster roll one year. It was very delicious. But again, it takes so much stuff to make this event happen. And I mean, I never thought I'd be doing a bacon festival for 17 years when we started it. And, when I had that crazy idea at the High Life in 2007, let's put on a bacon festival. Now I do them all over the place, but it's fun. I mean, again, it's to have an event. It's not what it once was. We once had 12,000 people. I was listening as I was driving in with you and Chris Conley. I mean, doing an event at the Iowa Event Center, taking over that entire facility was crazy. We had all 4 levels, and again, to have that staying power is hard. It's hard to have events that kind of last that long. And again, we'll probably have 3,000 to 4,000 people. We'll serve, again, 20,000. That's just the slices of bacon. We've got BW Outdoors that's coming in to serve some food items. We've got Campbell's Concessions, again, that has their double bacon wrap corn dog. We've got, who else? Chocolate Storybook. My good friend Steve Sheary's got a Dubai bacon chocolate that he's going to try out. Again, there's delicious food. You got to wash that down with something. So we've got beer, High Noons, some Svedka, some Parrot Bay, some Confluence, Coors Light, Busch Light. I will be partaking in a Atlantic bottling product, most likely. Big Atlantic bottling guy, Rob Feeney and his team at Atlantic Bottling, couldn't say anything better about them. They're great to work with.
They've been wonderful. They've been a great partner for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So you are 17 years into this thing.
Yeah.
What's the expectation? Year by year?
Yeah.
Day by day?
We don't lose. I guess if I lose money at this, I'll quit it. But we haven't lost any money, and not like I'm making a lot. But again, it's with having JR Southport Ranch, it allows me to do kind of stuff like this, and have event. Again, I enjoy it. I mean, it's fun. It's fun to see people that kind of get all bacon crazy about it and have a good time. And it is. We'll see. Again, it could be a great year, and this I'd like to do it a couple weeks earlier, again, because the calendar's so busy. There's so much stuff going on, with WWE and UFC and the farmers market, and this, there was supposed to be that Sandlot event that was going to go on at the Civic Center, but that got canceled. It's just hard. Events are hard, and this is a busy time of year. And for me, it's the venue where I have to do my events. I mean, we're not an outdoor event. We tried that a couple of years ago, and I got got stress hives. It's just, again, it's hard, and I need a venue that I can work with, that I can spread out and bring in food vendors, and we've got like Hot Tub Springs and Spas is bringing in a hot tub and a cold plunge. We've got axe throwing. We've got shuffleboard.
Hold on, you have axe throwing with 4,000 people?
Well, it's inside. It's in a contained cage. We're actually throwing at photos, a big cutout of you. You are the target.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not
That's
Ross.
actually probably a pretty good idea.
We can make that happen.
There will be kind of a cutout because Ross is going to be there tomorrow
I'll be
morning.
there.
Will there be a cutout? Will there be a cutout?
We'll have like a poster board type of thing. We could put Travis's head on a bullseye.
Let's do that.
Look how excited he gets. Gets really excited about this. Yeah, of course, tickets start as low as $29. You can still win a pair of tickets today. We'll give those away before the end of the show. After this, it's State Fair time, or is it you go get lost in like Thailand again for a couple weeks before you dive into the State Fair?
Well, no, we've got the Pigtails ride on May. Actually, I have to go officiate a wedding in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. I'm an officiant. If you didn't know that, I do weddings.
Universal Church
Ross,
of
for
Life?
It's the United Church of Bacon. Ross, for your second wedding, I could do that, FYI. Travis, if Anjanette wants to renew your vows, I will do anything for Anjanette. No, actually, I go to Scotland on May 20th. I'm playing golf with Mark Calcavecchia in Scotland.
Name drop.
1989 British Open champ. Why not? Oh,
bacon pants.
Wait, hold on. I'm on a group text with him right now. We're talking about weather in Scotland.
Yeah, I've got a signed Mark Calcavecchia bobblehead, baby.
That's pretty cool. Now, will you wear a kilt when you go to Scotland?
I looked at the weather. I don't think it's real good kilt weather. It's in the 50s. I do have a kilt. Actually, I do have a video of me golfing in a kilt I can send you later. But no, I don't think so.
Are you wearing it the way you're supposed to be wearing it?
Sure. Yes. It's very breezy down there.
Very breezy down there.
Yes.
Nice. Yachty by Nature is the headlining band tomorrow. I keep asking Ross this. He doesn't agree with me. Steely Dan, yacht rock or not yacht rock?
According to Donald Fagen, he says no.
Yeah.
That's Donald Fagen from Steely Dan, because Steely Dan kind of started the yacht rock craze with a lot of people.
I love Steely Dan. I don't know. They're kind of sure, maybe.
I'm with Brooks on this. It's like a sure, whatever you want to call it. If you call it art, if you call it pornography, sure.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's been a great marketing theme, because it's brought a lot of older music back to a lot of people who may not have experienced it, and it's given Brooks a theme for Bacon Fest. So I mean, there is marketing behind the yacht rock term.
Correct.
I like it. Yeah. All right, Brooks.
Well, what's tonight look like for you, man? You going to be to bed by 7 o'clock so you can get an early start on the day? Or are you going to be cooking bacon till 3 a.m?
No, God, no. I'm actually I got to go get a guy named Chef Justin Brunson. He's from Cedar Rapids, but he lives in Denver. He actually used to have a show on the Cooking Channel. He has a company called Brunson Meats, which is a bacon company. I finagled him to come all the way to back to the heartland for this event. So I think we're going to be grilling out at my house in my backyard.
Beautiful patio.
He does these dry aged steaks that are amazing. Ross, I'll have you over one night since you live in in town.
I'd love it.
We'll grill some steaks. No, we're so far ahead. It's like, the today is just kind of putting the finishing touches, some more signage, getting, staging, getting ready. But I hope to be home and in bed by 10, maybe.
Okay.
But I'll be up at...
See that eye go down? 10,
total non sequitur here. We were talking about you earlier in the week. Okay. Just you and your life.
Sure.
Did you have pets growing up?
Oh, yeah.
What were your pets' names?
Golda. Well, we had some golden retrievers, Golda and Patty. Those are and then we had a schnauzer. Her name was Betsy Ross Reynolds. They got her when I was a baby, 1976.
We're getting there.
Then my little sister Catherine got a dog when she was a young girl. His name was Charlie. He was a mutt. He was like a Benji. And then my parents were at like some charity event, and they were auctioning off a little Bichon Shih Tzu, a little white fluffy dog, little 8-pound dog. And her name was Lucy, and that was, I think, our longest dog for 12 years. I mean, growing up, but various dogs.
All right. We think we knew that the animal name thing would be interesting in the Reynolds house.
Yeah. Golda, Honey, Patty. We once had an English coonhound named Dugan that was named after our Windsor Elementary School gym teacher, Mr. Dugan. Yeah.
That's good.
Is that a compliment or
great. Mr. Dugan was a great man.
Okay.
Great man. So
you wouldn't name your animal after somebody you didn't like.
Right. I mean, I'm not going to name it Travis.
Duh.
You're so
Brooksy,
nice.
Love you, buddy.
Nice. Thanks, guys.
buddy.
Keep up the good work, bud. Talk to you tomorrow.
See ya. Bye.
Brooks Reynolds joining us on the Rush Radio Show. If you want to go to Bacon Fest tomorrow and ride the bacon boat, be the first caller at 515-517-2303.
Sure.
First caller gets to go to Bacon Fest. Reverend Ray is still trying to get a hold of me because I'm not calling Reverend Ray. I'm not giving him my personal cell phone because, I could just imagine, in a
daily text messages.
Yeah. That would not be good. Hey, man.
Pictures of waking bacon every morning.
Oh, man. Well, he puts those on the internet anyway. Hey, look at me. Look at me. Good. Phone lines are already full. It's good to see, like, in the old place we had 4 phone lines. We got 4 here, and I'm like, oh man, they filled up quick. Let's see who this is. I think they're screening. Who's this? Austin, congratulations, man. You are going to go to Bacon Fest.
All right.
First of all, can you go?
I will double check with my wife.
This is what cracks me up. We say, hey, we're gonna give you tickets.
Yeah, he wanted to win. It's a Friday. The guy's starting his weekend with a big W. Winners win, baby. That's what Austin just did. That's all that was. He can't help it that he's a winner. He can't help it that he wakes up in the morning, he pisses excellence, and he happens to be a winner. That's not his fault. God made him a winner.
All right, Austin, I'm going to call you after the show. Get your email address. We'll be emailing those tickets to you. Okay, buddy?
All right, awesome. Thanks.
Thanks, man. Austin going to Bacon Fest. Man. Poor Mick was caller number 2. You know, Mick wanted to go.
Gonna be a fun day tomorrow, man. I'm really excited about this. Gonna be exciting. We've got a lot happening around Des Moines. So gonna be the WWE thing. That's not necessarily our deal, but man,
yeah, very
insanely popular. Des Moines happening.
Hey, the Cubs got a win over the Pirates last night. Something odd happened in the Cubs game, and that is Paul Skeens was on the mound for the Pirates. So when Paul Skeens takes it's funny how you automatically just kind of go, oh, Paul Skeens is on the mound, the Pirates going to win. He gave up 3 home runs in the 5th inning yesterday, Ross. First time that's happened. I love it. Paul Skeens gives up, 3 home runs for the first time in his career. Well, he's 22 years old.
Right, exactly.
He's 22 years old.
And it's baseball, and even the greats have bad days. And yeah, you can't expect a guy to go out and deal 8 innings of shutout ball every time. Cubs are playing really good baseball, dude. I do have this fear of getting out over my skis with this Cubs team. I need to stay in the lane of they are a fun baseball team. They're going to win a lot of baseball games this year, and they're going to be a fun team. I think expectations for this team, we're going to have to wait until late August to decide what this team actually is. But fun right now and winning baseball. Did you see, by the way, what happened in the Cubs Pirates game on Wednesday night?
The guy falling?
Dude.
And did you watch the video?
Yeah. Looks like he jumps over the rail.
One of the headlines, I had it written down yesterday. We didn't get to it. I mean, it's scary. I mean, to the point where you're like, oh, you're lucky to be alive at this point. And he's still in critical condition. 22-year-old, I believe, a former college football player. But like they were saying, both managers were like, and players knew right away. They're like, you need to get here now. And one of the headlines yesterday was like they decide not to file charges against the guy for, because, coming onto the field is, I'm like, I can't believe that was like a headline. I hope you don't file charges. The guy's fighting for his life.
I didn't even consider that. Like
he did like a cartwheel.
Oh my God, it's awful.
Just a scary, scary moment. Yeah.
It looked like he jumped because the ball kicks away. There's like there's an air and the ball kicks away, and it's a big moment for the Pirates. And people around him all kind of get excited at the same time too. Man, that's scary stuff.
Mike Trout goes on the IL. When I first started doing radio with you, you would brag about Mike Trout. And at one time, he was the best player in baseball. That dude, he's hitting 173 this year. He does have 8 home runs, 18 RBI. But the last, 4 or 5 years, Ross, it's been nothing but injuries with Mike Trout.
Been a rough go, dude. Been a really rough go for a guy that, for a long time was the best player in baseball, and for a long time was considered to have the potential to be one of the best ever in baseball. Freak of a talent. He's 33 years old now. He's in. That's early for a guy like this that we hoped we would see play for maybe another decade. Maybe that's really high hopes, but man, watching it these last couple of years, it's faded quickly.
It goes to show you there's no guarantees in life, right? When you're talking about a guy who could be one of the best players to ever play the game. It shows you how hard it is to put a long career together. That's why I'm not a LeBron James fan, but I have to acknowledge the dude's 40 years old and still he's not the best player in the NBA anymore, but he's still pretty darn good. And the fact that he did that basically injury-free and still to be able to play, you go, that's just downright impressive.
He's had the spotlight. I completely agree with you, Travis. I'm not a huge fan of the guy. I don't think he's the greatest of all time. holy cow, he's done an amazing job with all of this pressure that he's had on him. His biggest mistake is that he played for Miami.
Not that he played for Miami, it's how he did the announcement.
Yeah, right.
That's
That's it. He screwed up an announcement when and he flops. There's no denying that LeBron's a flopper, and that is the biggest knock on his legacy. I'm completely agree with you, Trav. The fact that this dude has been able to sustain that for that long is super impressive. Mike Trout's a great example of that. Here's a guy that was in that GOAT conversation, injuries and circumstances get in the way.
I mean, think about the athletes we've seen from Tom Brady. I mean, LeBron's played so much longer than Michael did. And then Michael went to college. I mean, LeBron went straight from high school. I mean, to be, and then you see baseball players. And does it seem like baseball players get injured more than football players and basketball or in basketball players?
I mean,
or is it just it's more top of mind?
Yeah. I think that I don't know. With baseball, it's more the arms.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the Mike Trouts like that, but I think for the most part with baseball injuries, it's more the pitchers.
We mentioned that Ross is going to be at Bacon Fest tomorrow. So when you go to Bacon Fest, there'll be a little booth set right up there. I think right when you walk in the agricultural building, there'll be a couple signs, and we want you to get signed up for your chance to win Shane Gillis tickets. And so we've got all the best. We had Caitlin Clark tickets to give away, and my son goes to me. Only the other day goes, why do you keep calling them Caitlin Clark tickets? They're Indiana Fever tickets. I go,
no, they're not.
They're Caitlin Clark tickets.
I'm sorry. Nobody is going to watch the Brazil national team. Very few people are going to watch the Indiana Fever. Almost everybody is going there to watch Caitlin Clark. There's no denying that.
Yeah. Not almost everybody, Ross. Everybody.
Thank you. There will be. Listen, does the Indiana Fever have some other players whose moms and dads want to watch them play? And there's some Brazilians that want to. Yeah, there will be a 5,
maybe 6, maybe.
It's the Caitlin Clark game. It's the Caitlin Clark everything. Yeah,
I was with her uncle last night.
Caitlin Clark's uncle?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Chris Nivsey is at Boys Town. He was actually at Creighton Prep. He was my son's freshman, or he was the head varsity coach at Creighton Prep. But I told him last night, I said, I did not put it together. And Abigail was Chris's daughter's big sister when they were at Duchesne Academy. And I said, Chris, I didn't put it together that Caitlin's your niece until like January. I wasn't putting it together. He goes, yeah. I go, are you going over on Sunday? He goes, you know what? I'm very cognizant about the demands. He goes, I don't ask for a lot. He goes,
good for you. Good for him.
He goes, listen, and my sister gets asked for tickets all the time. Dude. And he goes, the only thing that I ever asked for really was his father-in-law is a huge, huge fan. And he took him over to when she broke the record against Ohio State. Yeah. He goes, that's the only time. He goes, we got good tickets. He goes, but I'm not the brother who's like, hey, can I go? Can I go? Can I go?
And this is the brother.
Yes.
The brother. Uncle. You absolutely have the right to say, hey, I'd like to come to a game. Could you guys hook me up with some tickets? And he doesn't abuse it. That's really cool. See, I never knew. Caitlin Clark's mom popped up on my People You May Know on Facebook the other day.
I did too. I hit add friend.
No, I did not.
Yeah, I did. I'm like, I'll just do it. She didn't accept. I didn't
really?
Accept her to.
Duh.
Thanks, Ross.
I noticed because I saw her pop up there. And I noticed that last name. I went to school with some Nizzies, and my first thought was like, no way. The guy that I knew his name was Ello Nizzi. And I was like, man, there's no way this is, she's almost got to be related to Ello. Last name Nizzi? Nizzi? Like, that's got to be, yeah. But then I also noticed, Travis, on her Facebook profile, she had like 258 friends. I was like, she's selective.
Very selective. Unlike
she's not
me,
like Travis.
Unlike me, accept. Except I've stopped doing that because there's a lot of like, that's when you get hacked.
Garbage.
That's when you get hacked.
Right.
And I don't like getting hacked. But yeah, so I was just hanging in with last night. And I'm like, and he's like, yeah, I don't abuse it. He goes, that's just not cool.
Oh, you'd know, yeah, because if you did abuse it, it'd go away quickly.
Yes. And I did say, I said, I go, we talked about on our show. I go, she's got a PR team that is amazing and has handled. He goes, that's all mom and dad. He goes, mom and dad have kept her. I mean, as far as just the way she's handled it, the way she was brought up, he gave full credit to his sister.
Listen, I have heard behind the scenes that all of that about mom and dad, that her mom and dad are buttoned down. They really have done an excellent job of kind of there's no doubt they've done an excellent job of handling all this. They anticipated some of this stuff early on, couldn't have anticipated all of it. Got the right people involved in her life to help her navigate this. Dude, it's amazing. Like, you walk around Hy-Vee and they've got the Gatorade. There's a special Gatorade now for Caitlin Clark.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. There's a special Gatorade in Hy-Vee with this giant display. And I walk past that and I go, man, a couple of years ago, this girl was a 14-year-old girl in West Des Moines, Iowa.
Playing hoop at Dowling. And now
hoping to get time with her. Yeah, it's incredible what's happened. So cool.
So that game is Sunday at 3:00. I'm actually looking forward to that. And I'm going to sit down, watch it, and then once it's a blowout, say, okay, I've seen enough.
Once it's a blowout, who's going to blow out who? I know that little about it.
I think the Fever blow out the Brazilian national team. And being the first preseason game, I have a feeling she's not going to play the whole game. It'd be like,
oh my God, what if they play Caitlin for like 2 minutes?
Oh, you can't do that.
How long does she have to play?
I think she's got to play at least 20. I would hope 20 to 25. She comes in, hits about 5 3-pointers, says, okay, we've seen enough. You're good.
Do you have to make a presentation about her coming out of the game for the final time? That's the last time she'll ever walk off the court at Carver Hawkeye Arena.
I wouldn't say that, because if they make a lot of money doing this, they might go, we might play a preseason game at Iowa City every single year.
Good point.
515-515.
I do wonder how much time people are going to want to see her in order for it to be, for them to walk out of there and go, oh, cool. Because she goes out there and she hits a 3-pointer and they pull her out of the game. She plays the first quarter. People are like, I spent $2,000 on these tickets.
All right, we got to wrap up today's show. We're going to run a little bit long. Thanks for listening all week. Yeah, you can go back and listen to all the shows at therushradio.com. Have a great weekend and get to Bacon Fest and the Farmers Market and go visit Big Sky Bakery and Bread at the Farmers Market. It's the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
Spring is here, and so are spring pests. Whether it's birds in your dryer vent, raccoons in your chimney, squirrels in your soffit, ants in your kitchen, or bats in your attic, with over 20 years of experience, Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions can help. Call us today at 515-218-3400 to schedule your inspection and see how Bats and Bugs can help prevent your home from becoming their home.
You've dreamed about an absolutely organized garage or closet? See it for yourself at Absolute Garage & Closet's beautiful showroom in Urbandale. See the latest in garage storage, custom closet systems, and epoxy flooring applications up close, and imagine how good it will feel to have your garage, closets, or other spaces absolutely organized. Free consultations, friendly service, and quick project turnarounds, Absolute Garage & Closets is ready to bring peace of mind into your home. Visit Absolute Garage & Closets at 3169 99th Street in Urbandale or at absolutegarage.net.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know. High quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig, plantation rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
Hey everybody, this is Mason Miller, sales manager out here at Willis Infinity. A couple of great things going on this month. We got tons of inventory, and on top of that, right now, we have 1.99 out to 60 months on the new QX60 and up to $2,500 in cash on here. Also this month, we are still doing the 2.9% up to 60 on new QX80s, the 3000 in Conquest. For more information, visit your favorite Infinity sales consultant on our showroom or online at willisinfinity.com.
Do you have a pest problem? With over 20 years of experience, Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions is Central Iowa's local expert in fast, effective, eco-friendly pest solutions at a fair price for your home or business. Call us today at 515-218-3400.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
The best bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday.